See here, we have a quick reason. Liquid we have, this is the free surface below it. So at any point H, okay, at any point, for example, we're taking one point, okay, at this point we are finding the pressure, and this point is at the depth H. From the free surface, it is lying at the depth of H. Now we have found out the pressure. Pressure will be H rho G, where rho is the density of the liquid, G is acceleration due to gravity, H is the depth of the point from the free surface. So we can calculate density, we can calculate the pressure at any point inside the liquid. At any point inside the liquid. So as H varies, the pressure will vary. As H increases, so pressure depends on what? It depends on height, it depends on density, it depends on acceleration due to gravity. On these 3 points, on these 3 parameters, it depends. That is height, that is depth of the liquid, depth of the point from the free surface. Second, density of the liquid, and acceleration due to gravity. Now, as the depth increases, pressure increases. As density increases, density of the liquid increases, pressure increases. Acceleration due to gravity increases, pressure increases. Mainly this remains constant. We are taking 9.8 on Earth. Okay. Now see here. And pressure does not depend on area of the cross section. It does not depend on the area of the cross section. It does not depend on the shape and size of the container. Any kind of container you take, it doesn't depend on the shape and size of the container. It doesn't depend on the area of cross section on which the force is being applied. The pressure does not depend. Okay, pressure depends on these 3 factors only: height, that is depth of the point at which we are calculating the pressure, the density of the liquid, and acceleration due to gravity. Now, using this, you have derived 5 laws. 5 laws are being given in your book of liquid pressure. First is, as the depth increases, pressure. 1 minute. As the depth increases, that is H increases, pressure. As the depth increases, H is here depth. Depth increases, pressure increases. So inside the liquid, at any point we are calculating, as the depth increases, pressure will increase. Second, the pressure is same at all the points in the horizontal plane. That is, all the points lying in this horizontal plane of the liquid, the pressure will be same. So pressure is same at all the points in the horizontal plane of the liquid. This is clear. Now, this is horizontal plane. Third one, pressure inside the liquid at any point, it is same around it. The pressure around a point is same in all directions. So pressure around a point is same. Okay. Fourth one, at the same depth. At the same depth. For example, at the same depth H, pressure is different if density is different. If density is for 3 points, you can concern with this. 4th point with density. Pressure is different at the same depth in 2 different liquids. In 2 different liquids as density is different. This is clear. 5th one, liquid seeks its own level. So any kind of container you take, now if you fill water or any liquid in it, and you will say the level in all the 3 containers is same. It is liquid seeks its own level. These are the 5 laws. So 3 laws you can consider with the depth. At the same, as the depth increases, pressure increases. In the horizontal plane, the pressure is same at all the points. And around a point, the pressure is same. Around the point, pressure is same. These 3 laws. 4th is regarding density. At the same depth in 2 different liquids, the pressure will be different. So one which is having more density will have more pressure at that point. Fifth is liquid seeks its own level. These are the 5 laws of liquid pressure. Okay, now we discuss some of the results of liquid pressure. It is consequences of liquid pressure. So first is river and sea. For example, we have taken river and sea water. Okay. Now at the same depth, which will have more pressure? At the same depth in river or at the same depth in sea, which water will have more pressure? It's the sea water. Sea water at the same depth will have more pressure because density of sea water is more as compared to density of river water. As compared to density of river water. So if you compare the pressure at the same depth in sea water as well as river water, the pressure in sea water will be more as compared to the river water.
Sir, page number.
Page number it is 85. So pressure at the same depth in sea water will be more as compared to the pressure in river water at the same depth. This is clear? Okay, as we have discussed, as the depth increases, as the depth is increasing, the pressure increases. As the depth increases, pressure increases. That means the pressure is increasing as we move down inside the liquid. Okay, so maximum will be pressure will be at the bottom. As well, we will discuss lateral pressure in liquid. That as well increases at the depth. Around a point, pressure is same. So here, lateral pressure as well increases. Now, that's the reason why dam walls are made thicker at the base. Dam walls to hold the water. So in dam reservoirs, what happens? The pressure is here. As the depth increases, pressure is increased. So maximum pressure will be at the base. So at the base, we have the most thick walls. So dam walls are made thicker as we go towards the base, towards the ground. Is understood? Why these walls are made thicker? So that it can withstand the pressure exerted by the liquid, exerted by the water. Okay, maximum thick here because this has to because maximum pressure will be exerted at the base. So this wall has to withstand the maximum pressure of the water at the base. Therefore, walls of the dam are made thicker at the base. This is clear. So as depth increases, pressure increases.
So
Therefore,
more can you explain?
okay, see here. If we have to dam walls, we construct to withstand water or to store water. We are storing water. Now see here, as the depth increases inside the liquid, depth increases, pressure increases. So pressure exerted by the water will increase. Now, if wall is thin, see here the less pressure, but as depth increases, more pressure will be exerted. So that's why this wall is made thicker at the base, so that it can withstand the pressure exerted by the water. Is this clear? More thicker wall, it can withstand more pressure. So as the depth increases inside the liquid, inside the water, the pressure increases. So maximum pressure will be at the base. The water at the base, we have the maximum pressure. So to withstand that pressure, the wall is made thicker at the base. Okay, and we don't require much thicker wall at the top because not much pressure is being exerted. Therefore, walls of the dam are always made thicker at the base. This is clear. Next is water supply at home. Okay. In this, we have already discussed the pressure does not depend on the shape and size of the container. Okay. So now see here, we will discuss. So at home, what is at home? Mainly the water tank is placed on the rooftop. Okay. So for example, this is a water tank, and from it, pipeline, and then we have the tap. Okay. We have the tap. So pressure at this point. Pressure at this point will be how much? For example, water level is here. So this will be the depth of this point, H. So pressure at this point will be H rho G. As the height of the water tank, increases, pressure as well increases in the tap. So if you want more pressurized water in the tap, you have to increase the height of the water tank. This is clear. So do you see it does not depend on the shape and size of the container. Whether you take this container and apply the tap here. If both are at the same depth, H, the pressure will be same in both. Pressure will be same in both. Since height is same, height of the water level from the tap is same in both the cases. Therefore, the pressure will be same. Thus, we can say it does not depend on the shape and size of the container. What kind of shape or what kind of size you take, it doesn't matter. What it depends on the height of the water level. So, in your water at home, so your pressure will be depending on the height of the container, height of the water tank. More the height at which we have placed this tank, more will be the pressure at the tap. This is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, here we have assumed that there is no friction in pipeline, okay? Or within the water layers. This is clear. Next is diverse chute. Diverse chute. As we have already discussed, as
Sir,
we
what
go
happens
deep.
by friction?
Okay, see here, pipeline is there. So if friction is there, the amount of water flowing, it will decrease the speed with which water will flow, it will decrease. As well, there will be friction among water layers. So middle water layer, it is flowing the most fast. This is clear. Friction is always there, but we neglect here. Okay, so water in sea, diverse chute, see here. Here at depth, as the depth increases, pressure increases. Here we have the atmospheric pressure. Now, as the depth increases, pressure increases. Okay. Now in 8th class as well we have studied diverse. When we go deep for deep diving, they wear diverse some kind of suit. They wear some kind of suit to withstand that pressure. If they don't wear the suit, what will happen? The pressure inside the water will become more as compared to our blood pressure. And it is also possible that at some depth, at very deep, the pressure will be such high that it can crumble the bones. So to withstand such high pressure, they wear diverse suit. It is mainly made of aluminum or cast, so that inside the suit, the pressure is maintained as that of atmosphere. So that inside the suit, pressure is maintained at atmospheric pressure. Okay. This is clear. Okay. Next we discuss size of the bubble. So see here, we have the water. This is the free surface. Here we have the bubble inside the liquid. Okay. Its size will be very small because pressure is exerted on it from all sides. From all side pressure is there. So it's compressed of it. It's compressed air. So very small. But as it is rising towards the free surface, what happens? Its size goes on increasing. And maximum size will be at the free surface, below the free surface. Why? Because pressure is decreasing. As the depth decreases, pressure decreases. Therefore, less pressure on the bubble, it increases in size. its size will be maximum at the near the surface, below the free surface, just below the free surface. This you understood? So bubble size increases as it is rising towards the free surface. So these all happens because of liquid pressure. These all are clear, and this is called as Boyle's law. Okay, now we discuss a very important law, Pascal's law. Pressure unit is also Pascal. So, okay. So for example, we have the liquid. Now at depth, here we are having one point X and the other point here Y. This whole is liquid. Okay. Now, please mute yourself. Okay. So see here, if there is a difference of height, that is difference of the distance between these two is delta H. So what will be the difference in pressure? At point X and Y, it will be delta H rho G. This will be the difference in the pressure at the point X and Y, between X and Y. So pressure at Y will be more as compared to X by this much amount. By this much amount. Okay. Now, for example, if I increase the pressure at this point X, if I increase the pressure at this point X, at point Y as well, the pressure increases by the same amount, such that the difference in the pressure between X and Y remains always same. Okay. What I am saying, whatever pressure I apply at X, that pressure is being supplied to Y as well. Okay. That pressure is being supplied to Y as well. So that is getting distributed, transmitted. So the pressure applied, the extra pressure that I am applying, that is being transmitted to Y as well. The same pressure gets transmitted to Y, such that the difference in the pressure always remains same. So, for example, I have taken any liquid. Okay, I give you one example here. Then we discuss the Pascal's law. So, for example, I have taken a flask. Okay. Now it has having tubing outlets. Okay. Okay, of different lengths they are. Now it is filled with water. This flask is being filled with water. So what will happen if I start filling in water here? It will rise in the tubes as well. At the same level, the level will be same. So initially the water level is this one. That is, water seeks its own level. The liquid seeks its own level. This is the law of the liquid pressure. So initially, this is the water level. This is the water level. Okay. Now, what is the pressure? Same pressure here, same pressure here, same pressure here. That means that is the atmospheric pressure. Okay. These have openings as. Okay. So same pressure will be at these points, and the same pressure will be at this point, this point, this point. At the same depth from the free surface. Same pressure will be there. Now, for example, I install piston here. Piston, and I push the piston. I am pushing the piston. So what will happen? The pressure will increase. Pressure will increase inside the liquid, and it get distributed. And what happens? The water rises. Water will rise, and it oozes out. Okay, and you will see the height reached by the water is same in all the three tubes. Height reached by the water, that is oozing water, it is same. All the three fountains will be of the same height. So it means that whatever pressure we have applied here, it got equally transmitted through the liquid at all the points. It got equally transmitted. Whatever pressure we applied, it got equally transmitted throughout the liquid. That's why the height, these all three fountains are having the same height. Okay, this is clear. So Pascal's law states that whenever pressure is applied in a confined liquid, whenever pressure is applied in a confined liquid at any one point, it get equally transmitted throughout the liquid. It get equally transmitted throughout the liquid. It get equally transmitted throughout the liquid. This is clear?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, why the jets of water reaching the same height?
Ask again.
Why the jets of water reaching the same height?
Okay, that's because pressure. Okay, 1 minute. These were the jets. Okay. As we apply pressure, what happens? Pressure increases here. Pressure increases here. We are compressing the liquid. We are pushing the piston. We are compressing the liquid. As we are compressing the liquid, the pressure increases, and this pressure, where it will go? It will get distributed. It will get distributed throughout the liquid. It will get distributed here. So what happens here? Here pressure is more as compared to pressure outside. So what will it will try? It will try to equalize the pressure at this point, because pressure here on one side we have the P node and here we have some P. And this pressure is more as compared to atmospheric pressure. So what will happen? This water will ooze out, will flow out. Okay, if this pressure is more and more, the height of the fountain will be more on the both the sides. And since on both the sides, in both the tubes, the height of the oozing water, that is the fountain, it is of the same height. Why? Because water pressure we applied here on the piston, that pressure got distributed equally throughout the liquid. Here as well and here as well, both are having the same pressure. Therefore, the difference in the atmospheric pressure and this pressure is same. That's why the height of the water is same in both the tubes. Understood this time?
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
So listen again. When we apply the pressure, this liquid get compressed. As it get compressed, pressure increases. Now where it can move? Here we have the walls. No doubt it can't move, but here the liquid transmits this pressure throughout the liquid. So equally and undiminished. This pressure, water pressure, it was distributed throughout the liquid. And that's why difference in pressure, and we'll discuss that as well. Okay, so Pascal law states that whenever pressure is applied at any point inside a confined liquid, that pressure gets transmitted equally and undiminished throughout the liquid. This is clear. At any point you apply, the pressure gets equally and undiminished transmitted throughout the liquid. Now we see the application of Pascal's law.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So in the same way, when the water is coming from the pipe and we are putting the finger in between, so
Yes.
then the jets formed by our finger are different in length. Sir, what is the reason behind it?
Okay. See here, for example, here. Okay. Now it is more opening. Okay. Water coming out. Okay. What is coming out? This is fine. Now see here, we have the bigger opening. The amount of water coming out per second, that is same. Okay. Consider that the amount of water coming out per second is A amount. Okay. Similarly, now if you decrease the opening, but the pressure is same. In both the cases, it is at the same depth h. Here as well, it is at the same depth h. but this time we have decreased the cross section. Since the pressure is same, the amount of water that was coming from this step has to be same from this one. Okay, I'm not considering the friction here. Okay, forget about, there is no any kind of friction or any kind of drag or anything. Okay, so whatever water is coming through this hole, that is A amount per second, this water will as well be the same amount. If it is small opening, that means we have to increase the speed. Whatever increase the speed to flow, the same amount. This is clear. So when we press the finger, we are reducing the what should I do? We are reducing the space for the water to come out. So water speed will increase. Water speed will increase so that the same amount comes out. Understood this time?
Okay, sir.
Okay, you can do one example here. For example, you're having the booster at home and pipe. Okay, as you are having if you take pipe of a good cross section, bigger cross section, what is flowing out? Pump is always pumping the same amount of water. Okay, but if we are using very narrow pipe, the pressure increases inside because pump is pumping the same amount of water at this. So it oozes with more speed. Okay, that's what we used to do with the pipe when you put the thumb over it. So less space for the water to oozes out, but pump is pumping the same amount of water. That is, pressure is providing the same. So more water has to be released, and that's why the speed increases. Okay. So now we'll be discussing 3 applications of Pascal's law. So you have to always remember Pascal's law, that is pressure applied at any point inside the liquid, it gets distributed throughout the liquid, okay, equally and undiminished. Okay, so we are discussing principle of pulse application, how it is being applied. Okay, so here we are having 2 containers. So let this be P and this be Q, smaller and bigger. Okay, and here we have the piston. We call it as P piston. This is Q piston. Okay, okay, and this is of area of, this is area of cross section of this piston and area of cross section of this piston. This is A1, A2, and here you can see A2 is greater than A1. This is always clear. A2 is greater than A1. So we'll be applying force here. F1 force I applied. And what is being filled in the container? A liquid, mainly water is being filled, or any oil. So we are discussing principle of hydraulic machines. Hydraulic machines, some liquid will be there. Okay. So we are discussing principle of hydraulic machine, how it works. This works on principal law. It works on the Pascal's law, and its principle is hydraulic machine. This we are discussing the principle of hydraulic machine. So we having piston P and piston Q. Area of piston Q is more as compared to area of piston A. Okay, and force is applied on one piston, that is on P. We are applying force F1. Now what will happen? Pressure will be there. Pressure will increase here. Pressure will increase here. So what happens? This pressure gets transmitted through the liquid, and here force will be applied on here, and this force generated will be F2. So with F1 we apply, let it be the pressure P1 here, and here we have the pressure P2. Okay, so as we press this piston P, what happens? Pressure increases here, this gets transmitted through the liquid, and here. So pressure here becomes equal to pressure here. That means P2 is same as P1. This is clear. Whatever extra pressure we applied, that got transmitted here, such that both the side pressure becomes equal. So this piston is pushed upward. This piston will be pushed upward, such that P2 is equal to P1. And what is pressure? Pressure is equal to force upon area, that is thrust upon area, normal force upon area. So P2 will be F2 upon A2. And what will be P1? F1 upon A1. This you understood? Because pressure in the liquid will be same. Because of Pascal's law, whatever pressure we applied here, that will be transmitted here as well, such that it becomes same throughout the liquid. Okay, same at this point. Okay, so these two pressures are same. Now F2 upon F1, it will be equal to A2 upon A1. What is more? Area of cross section of piston Q is more as compared to area of piston P. Therefore, since A2 greater than A1, then therefore F2 will be more as compared to F1. F2 will be more, F2 will be greater as compared to F1. So what we are doing? We are applying small force on piston, one of the piston. And what we are getting on the other piston? Large force generated. So if you apply a small force on piston or a smaller piston, if you apply a small force on smaller piston, a large force is being generated on the larger piston. Okay, so this is the principle of hydraulic machine. We are providing small force on smaller piston. And what is being generated here? Large force on large piston or bigger piston. So by applying small force, we can lift the heavy weights. We can lift the car as well by applying small force. This you understood? This is the principle of hydraulic machine. That is, we are applying small force on a smaller piston. A large force is generated on bigger piston. This is the principle of hydraulic machine. Okay, now we discuss three applications. Hydraulic press. First is the press, then jack, and then brake. So in hydraulic machine, we'll be discussing three applications. Hydraulic press, then the hydraulic. First will be the lift or ram. And last will be the brakes. CKES. Okay, these three will be discussing. Okay, 2 minutes we have. Okay. Okay, so I'll be discussing first hydraulic press. So again, we'll be having two pistons. Two pistons will be having. This is the piston of two containers will be having. Container P and container Q. Okay. You can see as the cross section area. Q is having more as compared to P. So we are going to apply force here. And here we have the piston. Okay, so we'll be applying force here by pressing. This is called as pump plunger. So we will applying force on pump plunger. Okay, by making it down. Okay, and here we have the press plunger. It will be pressing. Since you had 1 minute, I will take extra. So anything we put here, it will be pressed inside this top fixed one and the press plunger. Okay, 1 minute I will take only. So this is the construction. Now we will be connecting them. So through this pipe, the pressure will get transmitted. Okay, now we fill the liquid. Okay, here we provide one wall. Here as well, we provide one wall. Okay, we discussed all this. And here, okay. So what will be the pressure here at this point? It would be the atmospheric pressure. Now see how it works. In 1 minute, I'll discuss that. See here, it is filled with liquid. Okay. Initially, this is the position. Okay. Now see what happens. Here it is provided as lever. So lever is provided as I press it down. What will happen? This piston will be pressed. From plunger we are pressing. So what happens? Pressure increases here. Pressure increases here. Now pressure here will be more as compared to pressure here. So what will happen? This wall will move down and will block the flow. So no liquid will flow in this direction. Okay? Because as I press the pump plunger, pressure here increases. It want to move throughout the liquid, so it will move in this direction as well, in this direction as well. So what happens here? Here pressure will be more as compared to here. So this wall will be pushed downward and it will be closed. So liquid doesn't has the way to go down. Where it will move? Here, this pressure will get transmitted. Now see here pressure will be more as compared to here. So this wall will open and liquid starts to flow. And here we have one more one closed. Okay. So now here the pressure will increase. As I'm pressing the pump plunger, pressure starts to build here because this pressure gets transmitted. It means it will be forced to move up. It will move up. So whatever you put here, whether the book or the bale of cotton, it get compressed. It get pressed against the freeze support and the press plunger. Okay, it get pressed. Now how to bring it back? So for that, what we'll do? We will open this tap. We'll open this tap. Here we have the atmospheric pressure at this point. So some liquid will flow throughout. Okay, this time here will be okay. As you open the tap, it will be released and it will flow into it. Okay, now if I move it upward, if I move the pump plunger upward, what will happen? Here pressure decreases. Here pressure decreases. So either the liquid can come flow here through here or through here. So here what happens? Here pressure will be less. Here pressure will be more. So what happens? It is closed. No liquid will come from here. Only 1 minute I'm taking. But here, see here. As I am moving it upward, here pressure will be less as compared to pressure here. So liquid will flow inside. It will be filled again. This is how it is working. Okay, less force applied here, more force generated here, but pressure remains same. It get distributed throughout the liquid. Okay, so go through it once and we'll discuss next two afterwards. Okay, thank you. Do you have any doubt? You can ask.
Sir, you have to explain it again in the next class.
Okay, just watch the video for